Well, none of these people write their own music.
Yeah,
Like Prince wrote most of it. Like I think Prince wrote his music.
Yeah. Oh, you're a Prince guy. That's what.
Well,
it is.
I'm not a
You
Prince
kind of look
guy.
like Prince.
I'm actually not a
Like
Prince
you look
guy
like
at all.
no, you look like you kind of had that Prince vibe.
I get that. I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
when I cut my hair, I got my chest hair out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got those. Yeah.
Your high heels on.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Yo. Welcome to the Yo Show. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, do that. Leave a comment. Any comment you want to leave, we will read it and then talk about it the next episode. If you're listening on the audio side, of course, give it 5 stars. Leave a comment, and if we like your comment, hey, we'll read it on the air too. We'll read it on the air. As always, got Rudy over there. Sean, we got Sean over there. All right, so I want to talk about Rudy's rejection.
Which one? There's
The
so
last
many of them.
podcast, he drove all the way to LA to get on a show with Forrest Shaw. Got denied and drove 4 hours back. That's an 8-hour trip for no stage time. And then later in that day, what happened?
Okay, so walked into the Comedy Store last night, or whatever this was.
Comedy
days ago,
Store,
yeah.
the most legendary
Yeah.
one. I love the Comedy Cellar too, but Comedy Store, legendary.
Yeah, on my way to go see a good friend of show, Dean Del Rey.
Love Dean.
Going
Love
there.
Dean.
Yeah, gonna go hang and just like catch up. Haven't seen him in a few weeks. So walk into the store. I'm hanging out. There's a bunch of comics in the back milling around. People you've heard of. You know, it's me. It's Dean. Amir K. There's all these people. You know, it's a hodgepodge of comics and a comic who I just got done working with 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Right? Let me rephrase that. Maybe about 6 to 8 weeks ago. Now that I'm
Okay,
thinking
that's
about it.
different. That's a different story.
But
that's a whole different
kind.
kind. Okay.
It's within 2 months. It's 2 months, right?
Okay.
We literally hung out every night in a green room for 7 days straight.
Mm-hmm.
We did multiple shows a night. So probably hung out with this guy a total of 15 to 20 hours. At some point, you must seep into their brain, correct? You would think. So guy comes walking up to the circle and he's, shaking hands. What's up, Dean? What's up, Amir? And
Now, before you go on, the Comedy Store is where all the comics hang out in a hallway, or they got this little green room, and that's where everybody like just gathers.
Yeah,
so
congregates.
it's not they congregate. So imagine a bunch of comics in a circle, and Rudy's in that circle. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So comes walking up to the circle and he's saying hi. And then he kind of like scans and he looks over at me and I go, "What's up, dude?" Same guy that I just worked with less than 2 months ago for a week straight. He goes, "What's up?" Gives me the fist bump. I'm like, "How you been?" He said, "Good." I said, "Great." He goes, "I've been meaning to get your number. I was going to call so-and-so, get your number."
Stop. Did you know right then?
Not yet.
But you should have known right then.
Not because
If somebody says that to me, I go,
Because in my mind, I was like, because he's from the Midwest,
Okay.
we knew a lot of the same people. I thought,
you guys
maybe
bonded.
he needed some work done, or maybe he wanted me to come open. I don't know. But he said, I meant to talk to so-and-so about getting your number, but I didn't recognize the name. And I went, "Oh, so number for what?" And he said, "Oh, I was going to stop by your shop." And I was like, "Stop by my shop?" And then he goes, "Yeah, I meant to talk to you about," and I don't remember what he said. And you could tell the people in the circle realize he does not recognize me. And I go, "Oh my God." I go, "You do not remember me." And he goes, "Huh?" And I said, "Bro, I opened for you at this club for a week, like 2 months ago." And he goes, "I am so sorry."
that was in front of everybody.
In front of everybody. He goes, I am so sorry. Yes. And then all the information came back. He said, "You're the dude from Minnesota. You hang with Michael Yo."
It started like coming in like a Rolodex.
You could see it. Yeah. It was just downloading. The RAM was just downloading into his brain. And we had a good laugh about it. Dean Del Rey goes on stage. I go up into the original room. I'm sitting in the back. He comes and sits down next to me and literally leans in and goes, "I cannot believe I just did that. I am so sorry." And I said, "No, I am the least memorable person you will ever meet on the planet. Like, nobody remembers who I am. I get no traction anywhere. So no, I shouldn't be in your brain at all times." He goes, "No, but that was very rude." I said, "It's totally fine." Woke up this morning to an Instagram DM just saying, "I am so sorry about last night." And I'm like, "It's fine, dude. Don't worry." Like, I have a problem when Brad Pitt put out that statement about, "Hey, the reason why I don't do a lot of podcasts and I don't talk to a lot of people is because I cannot remember people's names." I looked this up like a week ago. I've had times where people that I know that I've been friends with for a long time, we will all be in a circle and I have to do that move where I introduce them to somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
where I know their name because I'm so afraid that I'm like, I am going to screw this up. And I'm supposed to know who this person is.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I hate names.
Yeah, me too.
I would never say a celebrity's name on the red carpet. I would just immediately, like, they have, what is it called? Fear of saying names. There is a fear of saying names is called
Foot
what?
in mouthitis.
Foot in mouthitis. No, fear of
Something.
saying names is called, fear of saying names, social, it's called nymph.
No, that's probably not it.
Yep. Yeah, you may watch out with that one.
So it's called nominal aphasia.
Yeah. There was something
Nominal aphasia. It's a condition where you struggle to recall names, not fear, but a common confusion. I have that, I think.
I have that all the time.
But I just think that's most people.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, so I just stopped saying names. Like, I don't want to say it, but yesterday I was with a person. I should have known their name. And it's that weird thing when somebody walks up that you know and you want to introduce them. I go, but I knew the other person. I go, this is such and such, and then say the person I should have known name too.
Yeah.
And I forced them to do it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't want to get that person's name wrong because I don't hang out with them all the time, but I see them here and there, but I don't know their name. It's not like I talk to them on the phone or they're in my daily life, but I see them at school every once in a while. So I felt bad about that. But
that's what I used to do when I first started doing comedy and meeting all these like comics and all that. I'll take my wife with me. So I would introduce them like, oh, this is my wife. And then they would introduce themselves. And I'm like, oh, that's the name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then after a while, we'll walk away. And my wife will be like, you don't remember them. I was like, no, I don't know the names at all.
Well, I also think like this is a lot. Rudy has said this story a lot of times. People forget who he is. And I think Rudy gets kind of salty about it. I think he gets salty about it. I think you get upset when people don't remember.
No,
who you are. Like me, if I ever were to meet someone and they don't remember me, I don't care. Like I could work with somebody a month, and if 2 days later they'd be like, who are you? I'd be like, okay. Like, I don't care about that. Like, but I know it affects you because you've mentioned people not remembering who you are several times to me in conversations. I think it affects you.
I think the biggest thing is because I tend to remember so many people, maybe not by name, but I do remember who they were, what they were doing, where they were at, how I know them. But I might not be able to recall their name, but I remember so much. I ran into somebody last night at the Improv.
But you're different though. Then you're just different.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is. Like I think I feel like I don't. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is something where maybe it's because I basically lived in a childhood where they were like, sit down, shut up, you're not funny, go away. And now all of a sudden, like I'm like, I feel like I'm working so hard. And when people go, who are you again? I'm like,
yeah, I think there's something going on because you do, you're being nice about it on there, but I think it really does like get under your skin.
Maybe. Yeah.
No, it's not maybe.
I think it's because you make an
look,
effort.
Thomas, you need to Thomas, you need to calm down.
Listen, Randall. Times I gotta tell you.
This is a good thing though, because you experience this a whole lot. You should have these dolphin pills on you, and then you can help these people with their memory.
Yeah,
yeah. This is a new podcast, so they haven't heard about the dolphin pills.
No, the dolphin pills. Yeah.
Obviously, you need them because you didn't remember that.
Next week, when the episode comes out with the Pearson with the dolphin pills, go back and rewatch this. Then it'll make sense.
Yeah.
I had a ex-girlfriend, Allison, who, to her credit, I was incredibly upset in the moment, but to her credit, I was like, you know what? Thank you. I do appreciate that, because we used to do the move where I would say, when we're out, if somebody comes up and they obviously know me and I don't remember them, I have to introduce you, and then it is your job to then ask them, hi, I am Allison. Who are you? That is your job. Don't forget it. Okay, great. First time that happens, we're at a company party. Guy from accounting or whatever comes up. Hey, Rudy, good to meet you. Hey, good to see you. Hey, you too. Hey, by the way, this is my girlfriend, Allison. This is the moment. Here we go. Allison reaches over, shakes his hand, and goes, hi, I'm Allison. He doesn't remember your name. What is it?
Well, see, that's a bitch.
And I was like, oh! But afterwards, she was like, what am I? Okay, so obviously that is the go-to move that everybody has.
Yes.
So I'm actually doing you a favor here by putting your feet to the fire. And I was like, and there was a little bit of me. Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong. We're not together. So obviously there was something.
No.
But there was a little something where I went, you know what? For how angry I am, I kind of appreciate that
because
you did
you're
that.
used to abuse.
That's why.
That's
Yes.
why.
That's
Yeah,
true.
100%. Like, no, you're not on the same team with me.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
Like, because I would do it for you.
Yeah.
Right.
She also called me Dylan for the first 6 months, so it was very.
Oh, so she didn't.
Not Thomas?
She didn't trouble.
she didn't recognize me either.
She's like,
She'd wake up next to me and be like, "Who's this guy?" In my
who's this
bed?"
guy?
Oh,
Dylan?
man.
Thomas?
Yeah.
Rudy? I don't
First
know.
dates, man.
But let me ask you this. Change the topic here. So this is happening to me at
Chuck E. Cheese.
that.
Okay.
They just redid Chuck E. Cheese. It looks awesome compared to when we had Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'll change it.
I still don't trust
Do you tip when you're just picking up something?
Oh.
So I go to hibachi place, right?
Okay.
And they still make you sign and stuff like that, whatever. But when you're just picking up an order, do you tip?
No.
I do, but definitely not 20%.
But why should you tip when they're not giving you any service?
Correct.
Well, I mean, for the cook in the back, if they happen to split tips, I'm okay with that. But I would definitely not give 20%.
I'm torn. Like, I don't give 20%. I would never give 20% if I didn't get service. And some people could be like, Michael, you made it, and you're talking like. It's just weird to me to go into a place to pick. That's like, okay, I go to a grocery store, get groceries. Should I be tipping the people that pack the store with groceries?
Yeah.
Because there's always somebody that did something to make it there.
Absolutely, yeah. And,
You know what I mean?
And the amount of people that are on the list of people that we should be tipping is getting far too big.
Oh,
It's
100%.
too big. I'm not a fan of it.
Like,
no.
I don't mind. Like my kids go to school, to this amazing school, and they ask every year if you want to get presents for the teacher. Boom, all day.
Yeah.
All day. I will tip the heck out of a teacher, buy them whatever. But man, it's I don't know how to play it because I pick up this food. The guy goes, "Here's your order," and I think because he hands me it, I'm like, "Well, you didn't do anything." You know, that's the way I see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, a lot of these jobs where we're supposed to be tipping people, the excuse is, well, it's all they have. This is how they make their money. I'm like, these are jobs that you should not be doing for the rest of your life.
No.
These are jobs you should be.
Stepping stones.
Yeah, these are jobs to bridge the gap in between whatever it is that you are doing. So, like Uber drivers, if you don't get out of the vehicle and either, I always grab my own. I always grab my own vehicle, my bags, and put them in. But if you don't get out of the vehicle and at least make the attempt, I'll always, say, I'm good. I got my own. That's very nice of you. If you don't make the attempt and you sit in the vehicle, you never get out, you listen to your music, you never, it's super hot or whatever it is. I'm like, sorry, dude, you don't get a tip. No way. I don't tip. Not all Uber drivers are created equal.
No, they're not. That's happened to me before. They don't even. I mean, it's just like when I used to date. When I pull out my wallet, I expect you to reach for your. I know you ain't paying.
Yeah.
But at least look like.
Yeah.
Oh, do you? Like they know they're not grabbing their money, but the effort is what you're looking for.
Right,
I had one girl go grab for her purse. I go, oh no, we're good. She goes, oh, I was just getting my makeup.
Yeah.
I was like, you should have just not said anything.
Yeah.
Like it would have been better if you just.
Yeah, how about thank you?
Yeah. No, I'm getting my makeup. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. This is the last time I'm going to see you.
Yeah.
But, so I'm torn about that. And that's my thing. So,
Yeah.
So around the room, do you tip?
No. So my wife, because she was like in the restaurant business, she goes on the same principle of like you have to provide a service for me to be able to tip you. But if I'm gonna come and pick it up, you're making your hourly, and that's your job is to cook it. And so therefore, I'm not gonna go out of my way to tip you for that.
Okay.
So that's
Rudy?
we don't.
Yeah. So, like I said, if I pick something up, which is very, very seldom, but if I do, it's usually $1 or $2 just for, hey, you put it in a container, there's a cook in the back, whatever it is. I don't tip 20%, but I'm not a guy who, if I go to a coffee shop, not everybody's getting, sometimes you're just not getting a tip. I'm sorry. I don't
Wait, when you go to a coffee shop, you actually see them make the coffee.
It's one thing if I go, hey, can I get, whatever it is, if I want a vanilla latte with a little heart
but you
on
just
top,
order a black coffee.
you order a black coffee, and not everybody gets. I'm sorry, there's no way. It adds up so much at the end of the month. I'm like, I just can't. There's no way. I just refuse to.
I get that for a black coffee. All you're doing is turning around and hitting the nozzle and.
Yeah, well, there was one place that had there's one airport. I don't remember if it's Minneapolis or whatever it is, but they essentially have small, medium, larges. They are all they're preset. They're in a cup, ready to go. So when you just say, "Hi, I'll take a small black coffee," they slide it across. And then what am I supposed to tip on that? No, you did nothing for this. I don't even know if you poured that coffee.
Yeah, so that was my dilemma every time I pick up hibachi from our local restaurant over here. But now I feel better not. I mean, I usually tip like $3 or $4.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But Sean's like, nah.
Well, the other thing is you make up for it in other places because you also tip the dudes at the curbside Delta baggage claim.
I do.
All the time. And I always feel like that's a thing.
But that's a service.
Yeah, they're all but what they're doing outside is the same thing that the person inside is doing.
No, it's not. See, that's where you're confused. They don't work for Delta.
Okay.
That's a baggage company that expedites so you don't have to wait in line inside. That's like if me and you went into business and said, we're going to create this stand outside the airport that so you don't have to wait in the long lines of Delta with all the other Delta people. Mm-hmm. We got Delta customers right here outside. It's a separate company.
Okay.
So they're actually tagging your bag, and they're not Delta people. They're tagging your bag and putting it on and make sure it gets on, even though you're not waiting in line with the other Delta. I always tip.
Okay.
Because it's different.
Yeah.
They're different. And also, to me, I give them $5. You're paying not to wait in the long line.
Not to wait in line, yeah.
And that's what you're really paying for.
Yeah.
It's like a club. You're not paying for the alcohol. You're paying for the space.
Yeah.
You're paying to not have to stand all night long. You're paying, like people say, oh man, $500,000 for a bottle of alcohol. It's like, you're not paying for the alcohol. You're paying for that block of space that only you can sit in and have whoever you want in the whole night. That's what you're really paying for.
Sure.
Don't think about you're paying for alcohol.
Let me ask you this. So here in Vegas, when people hit jackpot, they always say that you're supposed to tip the people that come and hand you the money. But I'm like, they take so much money. So it's
They
like,
don't. They don't, though.
No,
Taxes do.
I know that. But at the same time, though, it's like, gambling is like this. Like in Vegas, they make $1 billion a month.
No, you said the casinos, not the
casinos.
You got to separate that with the person.
Okay.
The people that work there don't make all that money. The casino makes it.
So if you hit jackpot, are you going to be tipping the person?
I did. I hit an
jackpot?
80,000 and I hit like a 60,000 once.
Oh, damn.
Off a slot machine.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I used to do $100 slots all the time back in the day.
After
I got a family, because my friend used to run casinos and he goes, those slot machines win just as much as the penny slot machines.
Yeah.
It's just, it actually gives you a better chance. This is back like 10 years ago, 15 years. And it's actually a better chance to win because they have to pay out a certain month. This is when slot machines had to pay out a certain amount a month because it was the law. And it still may be a law, right? So you have a better chance of winning because less people play it.
Wow.
And so if you figured out when it paid out, you would just go in a couple of days before that and just spend a lot of money. So my rule was I'm able to lose, at that time in my life, I was able to lose $3,000 and be fine.
Yeah.
So mentally, I was like, if I lose it, I lose it. But it would be hundreds after hundreds. And I won 80 and 60 because people think it's harder to win, but it's actually the same as a penny slot.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you do a penny slot 20 times, you'll win at least 10. But the thing is, if you hit one time on a $100 slot machine, that $100 is now $5,000.
Yeah.
And then, so you're like, I got 5,000, I got 50 spins.
So how much do you tip then?
I think I tipped like $300-$400.
Yeah, I won $4,000 at a casino, the Imperial Palace. When I was
would
like
tip 200.
22. Yeah, I had, and it was late. And the Imperial Palace back then was not probably one of the places you wanted to be at 2:00 in the morning with $4,000 in your pocket. So I asked one of the guys, the bouncers, if they could escort me back to my room, and he did. And at the end of it, I took $100 and just slipped it. I said, "Thanks, man, appreciate you."
Well, that's
dude."
different.
And then after he gave you a BJ, you gave him some more money.
Well, yeah, I gave him half of it after that. Yeah, I mean, that was all gone in a night. Yeah.
My biggest story is I flew into Vegas. This is what I remember. I was in Austin, Texas. This is when I lived in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
I flew into Vegas, and I literally landed. It was for some convention or some radio convention, and I had my meeting that day or did my segment in it, went to the slot machine. It was supposed to be there 4 days. Went to the slot machine, won like $60,000, literally left, went back, came back home.
Wow.
I was not going to stay there.
Yeah.
So I literally won and said, hey guys, I'm out. I won $60,000. I'm going back home.
Dude.
Because man, as soon as I won, they were like, do you want a VIP room? Do you want this? Do you want that? It's It's like, nah, I'm out. I literally got on the next Southwest flight back to Austin.
Yeah, I know Artie Lang, if you guys remember that name. Yeah, Artie's the best, but he was a comic on the Howard Stern show, and he would come to Vegas, and they would give him $100,000 to do Caesar's Palace for the weekend.
Wait, who's they would give him?
Caesar's.
Oh, Caesar's.
They would pay him $100,000 to perform for 2 nights. He'd do 4 shows, do 2 nights, 4 shows, $100,000. And at the end of the weekend, he would be down 10 grand. How insane is what?
That's crazy.
I mean, when you look at his nose, you're like, okay, now I understand how.
If it's, but some people are like Forrest put it out there. Like Forrest was addicted to gambling. He had to go to like a whole treatment center for it. It's crazy to me every time I walk through a casino, just people pumping their money into these machines. It blows me away.
Yeah.
It blows me away like how much people, and these casinos are built off that money.
Of course.
And you're still pumping it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to win. And if you do win, great. It's fun. But the reason and here's what I did. I was playing more of a business. I made it more of a business.
Mm-hmm.
It was like $3,000 because I know this machine has the potential to make more. For $3,000 investment, if you hit the right thing once out of 30 times, you can make the $3,000 back. If you hit a cherry, back then they had cherries on machines, they still made, but if you hit a cherry, just one cherry, you would get like $300-$400.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're always making your money back when you play those machines. So that's why if I ever played slots again, which I haven't in like 10 years, it would be $100 slots.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know what I do love to do?
What?
Sports betting.
Do you?
You know where I do it?
DraftKings.
DraftKings.
Oh, we love DraftKings. We got to take a break and let's play the DraftKings commercial. Thank you, DraftKings. I make the face.
I make the sound.
A lot of great playoff games are happening, and I've teamed up with DraftKings because for new customers, if you spend $5, you'll get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. Make sure to use my code YOBET. That's YOBET. The crown is yours.
Big shout outs to DraftKings. They just renewed. So boom.
Hey, Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
Take that money, drop it right back into DraftKings. I love that. Yeah.
Making it happen.
Yeah.
Thank God. Well, I can't say I don't. We just had this whole betting segment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, we were just talking about throwing money away. But look. I think betting. Okay, this is what I'm gonna say about betting. I bet sometimes on games, but I think you can control the money. Like some people can't. If you're addicted, you're addicted.
Yeah.
But to me, betting, you have to be interested in a team. Some people just do. I'm not talking about professional people or the addicted people. I'm talking about random people like me and you. Like me, I would bet if I know Miami Hurricanes are going to be the team, I'll place a bet on DraftKings.
Of course.
But I'm not like every week I got to place this, or I don't even know what a parlay is, right? Yeah. I'm that type of bettor. But last year, I knew the line. Sometimes if you have a sports team and you really pay attention, like to the ACC, I'm an ACC guy. I like the Canes, and I follow them, and I follow the ACC. Once a year, there will be a game that you could tell the line was created because they didn't know who really was playing. They were looking at more stats, not really like how the teams line up. Miami was supposed to beat this team only by like 3 points, and that other team lost like every game. Or like, they were like a losing record. I go, there's no way Miami's only going to win this game by 3 points. And I placed like $1,000 bet because I knew they were going to win. There was no question, but the line was so wonky. And I was like, why is this? And I got in early. They beat them by 30, right? And I'm like, but that only happened like once where it's like, so like, those are the ones I take advantage. And I saw a basketball game was like that. There's always one a week. Like if you look for the one a week and you know that sport, there's always one that you're like, yo, this is too good to It's like if Oklahoma in football plays like this small school, but they're only favored by like 21, and you're like, or like I saw one. It was a big school versus one of these lower tier schools, and they were only favored by like 17 points.
So like the Badgers versus Miami.
Yeah, no. It was like FIU versus like Miami.
Sure,
It's something like that, right? I go, oh my gosh, how can you not take advantage of that? And they never, for me, have never lost. But it's just one. It's just it'll pop up once a year, and I'm not addicted or like I like to keep my money.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I like in fact, for everybody, most people bet on the Super Bowl. My favorite part of the year for betting comes to the prop bets in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
The one I bet every year is, will the national anthem be under or over 2 minutes?
How long is it supposed to be if you just sing it?
Well, it kind of depends. I mean, Whitney Houston was like 4 minutes, 15 seconds.
That was phenomenal, though.
Amazing. Pink, the first year I ever won big on it, Pink did it in like a minute 55. And I bet the under because I was like, she's not going to go out and do this whole big spectacle.
She's not. She's all business. She's all business.
You can always tell the people that are sort of like flashy, they're going to go over 2 minutes for sure.
Is it always 2 minutes or is it moved?
Usually it's 2 minutes. Yeah, the under over is always 2 minutes. Yeah. So, and anybody like they had, I think it's Luke Bryan did it one year. The guy from American Idol. Yeah, the country singer.
Minute 15.
It was like literally it was like a minute 37. I was like, there's gonna be no frills. He ain't playing the guitar. He's going out there a cappella.
This is my moment. I'm not gonna mess it up.
Nah, that was it, man. Yeah, just hand over the heart. Yep.
But Ariana Grande would make that thing like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, Lady Gaga's going. She's sitting down with a piano and sparklers. I don't need all that.
Just the piano intro would be like 30 seconds.
No, yeah, but they start it from the second the lyrics start.
Oh, not
That's
the music.
where, not the music. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, man, the best Super Bowl halftime show, and I'm telling everybody watching right now, please go back and watch Michael Jackson.
Of course.
At the Pasadena, what is it called? Rose Bowl during the day, bro.
Yeah.
Right outside. This dude stands on stage for 2 minutes.
Yep. Yeah.
Doesn't do anything. And I was listening to a podcast where they had the director of the cameras.
Oh yeah,
I
heard that.
And he was like, "Move, Michael, move, Michael." He's like, Michael just standing there like for 2 minutes, crowd going nuts. And then all he did after 2 minutes was move his head to the other side and stood there another minute. Mm-hmm. And that would never happen today. TV people would lose their minds in the booth.
Oh, yeah.
But it was Michael Jackson.
Sure.
It was Michael Jackson. And it's the most amazing, just that intro is the most amazing intro. A halftime Super Bowl show during the day. Mm-hmm. Killing it.
Yeah.
That's how big he was, man.
Literally the greatest entertainer, bro.
He is. To me, the greatest. The
greatest entertainer. I'm not going to say artist. I'm going to say entertainer, though, because he didn't write his own music.
Well, none of these people write their own music.
Prince wrote most of it. Like I think Prince wrote his music.
Yeah. Oh, you're a Prince guy. That's what it was.
I'm not.
You kind of look like Prince.
I actually not a
Prince
Prince
you look
guy
like
at all.
no. You look like you kind of had that Prince vibe.
I get that. I get that. Just when I cut my hair, I got my chest hair out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got those.
Your high heels on. It's
high
fine.
heels.
Yeah, you got it.
Asking people, do you want to play basketball? You want some pancakes and flapjacks?
Skins and blouses.
Skins and blouses.
Yeah. If you guys really want to take a deep dive on the Super Bowl halftime shows, go check out the 1992 Minneapolis Metrodome halftime show. This was before all of the glitz and glam, before all the big. They literally had like dancing snowmen.
Oh my God!
It's a classic. Yeah, you gotta watch.
Classic as in good or so bad?
It's terrible.
Okay,
it's hard to watch. Gloria Estefan is out there. She's got on like a Mrs. Claus outfit, but it's wild. It is not the expectation.
A lot of people upset right now because the rumor is Jay-Z is going to do this.
Yeah, he's double dipping, man.
And then everybody's like, "Yo, give us white people a break. We need our artists."
Dude,
just get it.
Just once the Foo Fighters. I'm just asking once. Just the Foo. You can bring on some rappers. That'd be great.
But he's double dipping though because
he
runs it. So he runs the halftime.
He runs this town.
Well,
wait, he runs the half. He runs the half.
So yeah. He got hired as a consultant for the NFL to basically do halftime shows.
Oh.
So and the whole thing was they want to get these artists paid because for the longest time apparently ours weren't.
No, it was a promotion. So like Katy Perry.
Yeah.
You do it because you know the upside.
Correct.
It's kind of like doing a comedy special for cheap. Mm-hmm. Like, what is that place that blew up? That Ralph Barbosa blew up on it, and a couple other people. Not Dry Bar, but the other one.
Right.
Open Bar.
No.
What's it called?
800-pound gorilla.
No. It's a comedy thing. It's.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Don't tell.
Oh, don't tell.
Don't tell. So Don't Tell will probably pay you like $2,500 or maybe nothing to do a special for him.
Yeah.
But the potential of gaining fans and ticket sales.
It's the clips.
It's the clips, and that's how you sell tickets.
Yeah.
Like Barbosa, I mean, of course he'd been working at comedy, but he had this gun bit that got over 100 million views, right? Total. And that blew him up. That got him to the next level. And they probably didn't pay him anything. And by the way, shout out to Ralph Barbosa. He's coming to Vegas next month. And I thought it was this month, so I hit him up, said, I'll be at the show. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I thought,
Venetian,
I
right?
go, it's not tonight. He goes, no. So anyway, go to the show July 17th and 18th.
Yeah, he's with
Renee Vaca.
Yeah.
So what's great about that is you take nothing because the benefit is huge. Like, just like Netflix, if they came to me, they pay nothing anymore unless you're Dave Chappelle, right? They'll be like, here's $250,000 licensing fee. Now, when I say nothing, $250,000 is a lot of money, but compared to Dave Chappelle, 20 million and Amy Schumer and all those people, what I'm saying is that's the lower end of a Netflix special. 250 to 150. Let's say 150. They say, here's 150. They own everything now, right? You sign a distribution deal, you'll get it back in 4 or 5 years. But the potential is, I've seen it for Joe Coy. I said, you would go from not selling out clubs to selling out clubs all the time in all theaters.
Yeah.
Like, that's the potential that could happen just in one special.
Right.
And that's why you kind of give it away.
Right.
You know, but now people on YouTube are finding success where it's like, it may not be that big, but you keep building your own YouTube channel. Now you start to now people are like, oh, I'm going to this city. I didn't even know people were going to come. And now you sell out.
Yeah.
I'm going to this city. And even if you don't sell out, you do solid.
Right.
It's all your people that came in, you're building your own channel.
Right.
But I would tell you in a heartbeat, if Netflix ever calls, like for this next one I'm working on, you know, what's good about the position I'm in, and Gina Yarsaray, I believe that's how you say her name, she shot 3 specials. Netflix picked up her 4th, and they bought her back catalog. Because what they want is they want to own all of it.
Yeah.
So that's where you can get paid, or whoever comes to you on a big platform.
Would you sell your catalog?
I don't know, man. It depends. It depends how, like, if I can get to a point where I'm doing theaters, consistently selling them out, you know, like at the end of the year, we're doing different like we're doing theaters, but they're like smaller theaters. I'm talking about like 1,000 seaters,
Right.
Or above, consistently selling out. I don't think I would ever sell anything. I would just keep putting it out myself. Even 800, 500 to 800, because you got a good payday, you know, like, not to be too inside baseball, but like, a lot of times, depending on the deal, you can make just as much from selling 500 tickets than 1,000. Because the bigger the venue, the more expense to rent that venue out.
Yeah.
The smaller the venue, they'll be like, oh, we just want you here. So yeah, we'll pay you the same amount because your payout, or they may not charge you for the venue.
Sure.
I've made more selling 500 tickets than 1,100 tickets before.
No
Yeah.
way.
If Netflix is watching, please know that I am definitely not worth $250,000. I will take way less than that.
Oh, yeah, I'm right there
I
with
would
you.
trade all of my material for a fruit by the foot. Take it all. I don't care. Please, I'm giving it to you. Just take it. I don't want any.
take it.
Just I don't even care. Whatever. Put it on your platform. I don't put it in the back. Even put it in the dumpster behind Netflix. It's better than where it's at right now.
They may not remember your name.
They would never remember.
We picked up this special by Thomas.
Yeah, they put it out as Ralph Barbosa.
Okay. All right. Okay, we got to go. Thank you so much for hanging. Look, Rudy, tell them your website real quick.
MichaelYosOpener.com.
It really is. Michael Yo's open. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
It's so good.
Michael, I should get a website called Michael Yo Comedy. I'm just Michael Yo though. All right, Sean, where you at?
Just go to SeanReggie.com.
Okay,
You know,
audio 5 stars, and like it, share it, all that good stuff. If you're watching the pod on Facebook or YouTube, like our page, subscribe to our page, all that good stuff. My tour, I kick off a bunch of new dates, bunch of rescheduled dates. Thank you for being patient. I had to move like 20 shows because of Mad Apple and this other project that hopefully I can talk about soon is released. So yeah, michaelyo.com. We'll see you next time. Later.